Why, hello there, my fellow farmers. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival. Episode 60, Sowing an Orchard. The fastest way back was swimming in the ocean. My raft is on the other side of the shore. Yeah, ultimately distance is the problem. The distance I would have to cover to lure them anywhere to like a pen for breeding is probably greater than I would be able to. One of the issues is when you're trying to lure them, you have to like punch them and then have them like chase you while they're like headbutting you to death. And then they'll like lose interest and you have to punch them again. And if the distance between is too great, you'll end up either having to punch them to death or they'll just like lose interest and you'll lose them. Essentially, it's just very difficult to try to lure animals in that fashion. And then milking animals in this game isn't like most games. They actually have to have recently given birth to be lactating, and they only lactate for 20 days. And until they're fully domesticated, the vast majority of milkings fail. So trying to get milk until you fully domesticate after multiple generations, trying to get milk off of animals that you've only recently domesticated is like a very tedious, lengthy process. Hey, we have salt now. I gotta fill these back up. It's not to say it isn't worth it. It's just a lot of effort, a lot of work. Speaking of which, I'm sure they've eaten everything. Oh, they have a little one food left. And there shouldn't be eggs to collect because I culled all the breeders. On purpose, because I wasn't interested in any more Gen 1s. So all Gen 0 chickens have been killed, and all we have left is Gen 1 chickens, and that means any of their offspring will be Generation 2. Okay, let's fulfill food and water, and then decide on where where the orchard's gonna go. Sorry, brain. Take brain not braining fast. Also need to bring flax over to them too. Put the seeds away. Good amount of seeds. For the cassava, cassava needs to be soaked in water to become edible. So I put my soybean pies. There we go. Sealing up the cassava in water. And then I actually just got the right amount of rot to make compost. So, I'm also going to want I'm going to want just a little bit more, one more barrel to be able to take advantage of that. And we're pretty close to having weak tannin. But, yeah, let's make one more barrel real quick for a compost barrel. Given that it's a compost barrel, I'll just put it here next to the farm. Although that will be annoying because it will fill up with rainwater when I'm not running compost, but whatever. Seal. So I got the resins for the fruit press. I'll probably make the fruit press once I have the orchard in. And we got salt. So I have a decent amount of salt now. That's great. Now I think it's pretty reasonable to say I'm not likely going to need any more farmland beyond what I have here. Like, this keeps me well fed and the chickens well fed, and the only reason to expand the farmland beyond beyond the footprint I have right now is if I started getting more animals. or I wanted to do something. I don't know. But with that said, we have to pick out where the orchard's going to go. So let's go ahead and put up some choices. So option number 1 is just beyond the farm. I can fill in the pit kiln for the charcoal and put it here. So just beyond the farm. So that's option number 1. Attached to the farm. Option number 2 is over by the bees. I mean, they are mostly fruit trees, so we can roleplay it. I mean, obviously the bees only care about flowers, but we could roleplay and say, hey, maybe I should plant fruit trees like in this area here, just south of the bees. Option number 3 can be north of the chickens. So we have all this strewn and straw chicken area, but just north of the chickens. I can plant it up in this, maybe in this flat plateau area. And then connect this with bridges over to my kitchen. So I'm going to call this north of the kitchen. And the last one is going to be east of the forge. And I'll show you the east of the forge area before I put it to poll. So the last one is east of the forge, which is, here's our forge. And it would be in this area here. So, them's the 4 options. You guys can pick where it goes. We've got 18 pomegranate, 5 orange, 9 lychee, and 16 olive. So there's a very, very... there's a wide variety. It's not all that I wanted. We didn't end up getting breadfruit or mango. But everything but breadfruit and mango is still pretty good, I would say. Alright, checking in on other processes. Your meteor garden is done. I'm sure that's been a while now. Here we go. 12 meteor grind. Can you put a bloomery top just on the ground? You can't. For storage? That's bunk. So that's ready for like another iron run. And then the pit kiln should be done as well, I'd imagine. Yep. Can't believe the papyrus isn't up yet. And the rest of the bricks I'll just store for now. So, all of the things we were waiting for processing got done. So, we got 4 bloomeries ready to go for glass or iron, and meteor iron, or whatever. Alright, south of the bees. You got it. I think my shovel's gonna break in like a millisecond, as will my axe. So I'm just gonna low-key break these tools, repair them, and then start the orchard, because I know they're about to break anyway. I couldn't even Okay, yeah. That one's broken. And yeah, I could make iron, but I think what I'm going to do is use up the bronze until it doesn't make sense to repair it again. So this area is pretty flat. I'll want to shear. So there's some to cut down. I'll want to shear it, but essentially what I'm looking to do is to have like a nice, more organized orchard look to it. Meaning to... I don't really know what soils. I might even like replace the soil with like something not fertile. Like rammed earth or something. So that, or like strewn straw? Yeah, maybe strewn straw with like trees planted in the middle. That might make the most sense. Because I don't want to obscure the trees, the fruit trees, with like bushes and other undergrowth, if that makes sense. Wait, where? Oh, there it is. What's the durability when it doesn't make sense to repair? Once it's been repaired, let's say like 2-3 times, where the diminishing returns start to catch up. So like, this axe is this shovel's been broken 2 times, and the axe head has been broken 3 times. So let's say this is the axe's last run, maybe. Don't forget to heat up the bits. Good call. I was about to forget. Let's do 13. That's so many more than I need, but should be fine. My goodness, I feel like I've eaten so much pie. Like, since yesterday, I've had, like, 2 full pies of food. It's like, every day is Thanksgiving up here in Vintage Story. Ow! Ow, yeah. Tong to tong tong tong. Alright, how many pieces are missing? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know what? I might... Oh, no, I'm heating up more than that. Cool. You'd be surprised if anyone had humble pie for Thanksgiving? I mean, I wouldn't. You forget that some people, at least here in America, and I'm assuming in Canada as well, are well below the poverty line, and I'm sure there's people that eat squirrel and roadkill and whatever they can get their hands on as a means of survival. When you're hungry, eh? Yeah, definitely that's the last legs of that axe. Oh, and I'm an idiot and forgot to actually fire this up. Where to put my shears? They're probably in the farm? Yes. So, do you like the plan of using strewn straw for the orchard? If not, I can leave it to polling to, like, come up with other... I mean, one way to do your orchard, which is, I didn't plan it this way, so I'm not going to do it this way, is to have your orchard grow around your other crops. To, like, incorporate it into your farm. I just don't have my farm laid out in that way, plus, so I didn't want to incorporate orchards in my farm, but that would be reasonable to do. And then if any of these survive, I can like build what looks to be like a little planter around them too, so that they're even more fancy or whatever. Okay, so we got our weak tannin, our lime wash, and here is strong tannin, and then we have prepared hides ready for the strong tannin. Okay. And you guys do want the strewn straw for the farm. Got it. Or alternatively, putting like a little fence around each tree or something. I don't know. Just, I'll try to make it look nice is the TLDR. Once it's built. Okay, this is missing also 8. Where is it missing? The cuttings don't have an expiration timer now. That is the one really nice thing about them is... Well, I guess, to be fair, all farm seeds are the same way. The way Vintage Story works is, like, you can only plant seeds that are, like, designated as seeds. You can't plant, like, grain. So it, like, kind of doesn't make sense, but it's kind of convenient as a result. I don't know. Just the way Vintage Story is. And you guys do like the idea of strewn straw. So I'll probably do some sort of, like, checkerboard pattern. But what I do know is I'm going to want to clear the land first. Do I already have strewn straw? No. Oh, no, I do. Cool. So the strewn straw is just hay grass on top of soil. And that's what we used over in the chicken area. Did I never re-upped their grain? Shoot. One moment. I got some hungry animals to feed. I forgot about that. And I think... Yeah, all the skeps are harvestable. If I wanted to harvest the skeps, I don't have the replacement papyrus for them. Which is why I'm, like, leaving it for now. Oh, you're a straight-up rooster now. Woohoo! So that's breeding age and a hen who's eaten once. So, yeah, we will have some Generation 2 eggs being laid soon. The eggs in the hen box might not hatch. Well, they will now, but I don't want them to because these are Gen 1 eggs. So let's actually mess with that. I'm going to pull those eggs out, and now new eggs will be... They're guaranteed to be Gen 2 eggs. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, look! I was just talking about the papyrus. Not all of it's matured yet, but I really like the look of that. It adds a lot of green to what is otherwise tan and brown and gray. I approve. Well, this oak's in the way. which is probably good for our leather making. Yeah, I didn't know how that was going to turn out. I just like kind of came up with the idea on the fly, and I had never built or done anything quite like that. And I was a little anxious that it was just going to be hideous or come out wrong. But it looks fine. All right, I think I'll start the strewn straw. So it's going to require a lot of strewn straw, which is... Oh, you know what? I need to... Oof, I'm doing this wrong order of operations. I should get the grass first. Because otherwise, digging up the soil, I can't get the grass afterwards. So it's going to be something like this. We'll have, I'm going to have 3 wide to buffer for the beehives. And then we'll start the pattern for the orchard. And this is because if the clippings do work, if they do take, they go wide pretty fast. The trees. So it's leaving space for the trees to grow. Because you don't want to bonsai your own trees. Oh my god, you came... What the hell? Miracle Grow much? Grass grows at, like, ticks. So it's just a little random when they'll do that. So if I leave space... 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I could sort of budget it. I don't mind that. Leaving spacings... Yeah, okay. That's what I'll do. So these spots here are actually going to be where I plant the trees. Are bushes like the ones I'm clearing world gen only? These heart-tongued ferns? Is that what you're referencing? So, as far as the game's concerned, the only flower that is world gen that can propagate after the fact is horsetail. Oh, the taller bushes? These aren't world gen. I put them here and I sheared them myself. They're transplanted that way. They would never naturally occur like that. Are you talking about the trees that are too tall? Yeah, those are that's world gen. Maybe I'll just have it in rows rather than checkerboard pattern, given what we're working with here. And I'm leaving divots where we're going to plant the clippings. And I'll probably not use up all the clippings. Because trying to plant them all right now is just an immense amount of work. But I'll plant some. I'll have a variety of a little bit of everything. So how many types we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll do 6 pomegranate, 3 orange, 6 lychee, and 6 olive. Because I can't do 6 orange, but I'll do the orange last, so that hypothetically I can ramp it up to 6 if I do find more orange out there. I think that will be the plan. So the cuttings I'm not using, I could do 5 orange with just an empty spot for a 6th at some point. So 6 of each. And it will look something like this. So let's do the pomegranates here. Done. And I'll try to get this project, the full project, done before end of stream. Even if we go a little overtime. You hope they don't crowd? They will crowd. A lot of them will die, though. I mean, that's just how they work. Nothing like a good Zap Brannigan quote. Some of you die, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Yep, pretty much. Really? It has to be on the bottom? Okay, fine. Alright, let's do the lychee here. Dang it, I keep digging too deep. And I need to prep more space. These catbox are... Oh, well, that's an actual tree, sort of. But they are blocking progress. And the strewn straw is just to prevent, like, me not being able to check on them easily. Have them aligned in this way just makes it a lot easier to visualize whether they're, like, thriving, dead, etc. So that it doesn't become so labor-intensive to figure out, do they need, like, you know, what's their growth phase or whatever, you know? Be able to find fruit quick. Alright, we need more strewn straw. And then we can imagine in the future, like, a nice walkway path around the edge and maybe fencing or something to make it look dignified if we want that in the future. You know, there's, oops. There will be the option. Apparently, orchard is a lot of work. Shoveling in the soybeans. All right, then yeah, all I have left. Okay, yeah, we're getting close to being done. So these were olive. Let's do the last 3 olives. And then we've got 2 rows of orange to do. Oops, I did that wrong. And there's a visual indicator of when the clippings don't take, where they will look more like firewood because they died. Something like similar to that. Yeah, orchard in a day. Pretty productive, if I don't say so myself. Plus, I didn't even have the clippings beforehand. You know, I had to go find them. So, progress. That, and I'm not just like throwing them down, I'm like removing all the soil around them too, which is the hard part, I would say. Putting strewn straw down. Hundreds of tiles of strewn straw. And we'll leave this one empty, because I don't have the orange for that. Done. So they've been sown. Now I just need to do the strewn straw fill, and we'll have an orchard. And then the goal will be to check up on them, replace any dead clippings with new ones, to you know, so that eventually we'll have 6 of every tree that the tropics can support. Of course, I have yet to find mangoes and what were the other ones I didn't find? Breadfruit. All right, sweet. I'll just clean this up a little bit. So I would say it could still use like a fence, pathway, you know, so on and so forth. But there's a little orchard, and I hope it does well. All right, let's top up the chicken feed and wrap this up. Any new eggs? Yeah, that's a Gen 2 egg! Woo! As long as I don't, pull it out of the hen box. That's another good milestone. And it also looks like a lot of the berry bushes are ripening. Because it's October. Yeah, I honestly don't know what my winter temp is going to be. Like, what it will get down to. So maybe I'm wrong about all those vernalized crops. I just don't suspect it's going to get quite that cold. That would be unusual, I think. I don't know where this stuff goes. Whatever. No, the oak should go in the... This is the wrong box. And it looks like a lot of our medium fruit crops are getting pretty close to being ready as well, which is I'm happy to see. We'll have even more food soon. So my aim is to have one nice meal before end of stream. Let's get that one last meal going. Papyrus farm fully fruited, or whatever, budded, grew. And this was more or less the design I had in mind. I like it. I don't know how easy it's going to be to harvest, but I'm not going to do that right now. So the final meal. Let's see. We have fire pits ready. I'm going to do... a mushroom chicken egg thing. I don't know. Something weird. But it will fulfill a whole bunch of satiety. Doesn't have fruit, doesn't have grain, but still. Them's the final meal. Chicken quiche. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's weird. I can always move these bushes. These bushes were originally transplanted here. I probably don't want to move them until at least the next harvest. But yeah, I could always move bushes or transplant more bushes around the orchard. The orchard doesn't come under attack from like wild animals quite the same way farm animals do. Like nibblers and bunnies and the like don't go after them. But, fencing them off all the same, just for the aesthetics might be something to do it eventually. I wonder what this will look like. It actually looks kind of appetizing. And it was filling. Well, there we go. Just to recap what we accomplished this stream, we bloomed up our first iron and got 16 iron ingots and 12 meter iron ingots. We made ourselves iron falx, iron pickaxe. We changed over a lot of the crops. We are about to get a Gen 2 chicken, and we called the Gen 0s. We planted an orchard, milled in a massive amount of grain, and burnt down our leather, our leather making barrels, for better or for worse. And then also moved the pit kilns where they are now, and yeah. Got some more resin and got a bunch of the fruit trees and grew our papyrus, etc., etc. So this, friends, is where I'm going to leave off for the stream. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it. as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.